Hey, what's up, guys? Gotta love the Stooges, and I think the music is perfect for what we are watching here. This fictional invention they have termed the ball Earth, on which we live, supposedly. So, in this video, I would like to show you the shots I've taken through my telescope in my quest to find any curvature, which I cannot find, obviously, and also emphasize the equation used to determine how much curvature there should be per mile. And this is obviously very important. So let's go ahead and get started. So there's the pretty blue marble that NASA claims we are living on, with circumference of 24,901 and 3959 radius. So to find the curvature, you take 8 inches times your distance squared. That's 8 inches times your distance squared, and if you don't square the distance, you end up with this, and this is not what NASA has shown us. They have given us a beautiful blue marble that we love. So you get 8 inches for 1 mile, 32 inches in 2 miles, 16.6 feet with 5 miles, so on and so forth. So what I did is I shot this pier, which is in Daytona Beach, Florida, and as you can see, between the water and the walkway of the pier is about 12 to 16 feet based on the height of the people and the railing. So I started at Granada, which is 4.92 miles away, and I shot this, and based on that distance and the formula, there should be 16 feet of curvature. But obviously you can still see the entire gap under the walkway there between that and the water. So in addition to that, behind that pier is actually a lighthouse, which you can see right above the pier. You can see the light. That is 16 miles away from my location, and I shot that lighthouse. I also shot it in a video, which I'll show here in a second. Now that lighthouse is 175 feet tall, and the curvature from 16 miles away should be 170 feet. You can clearly see about the entire lighthouse beyond that pier. So like I said, there should be 170 feet of curvature, but there's none. And those hotels there are even further. Those are in New Smyrna, which is 20 miles away. Well, depending on the location, 17 to 20, which I'll show in a second here. But you can clearly see that lighthouse above that pier, and that is 16 miles away. And there's the shot of the New Smyrna line of hotels, and this is shot from Granada in Ormond Beach, Florida. Like I said, that is 17.5 miles away. I also shoot that from another location even further. But again, it's 17.5 miles away. That's 204 feet of curvature. I know that tall hotel is 18 stories, but the other ones, I mean, it's just ridiculous. There's no curvature. Now I shot this picture from 8 miles away. That's the same Daytona Beach pier, and this is from 8 miles away from Ormond by the Sea, which is, like I said, 8 miles away. It's from an area we call the Sandlot. From this distance, there should be 42 feet of curvature. Now there's clearly the entire gap under that walkway and the water. You can clearly see the space. There's no curvature. Nothing is covered up. There's a closer view of that pier from those 8 miles away. I don't see any curvature, and it should be 42 feet. And there's the hotel from New Smyrna. That's that same hotel I shot from the other location. This time, this is 20 miles away. From 20 miles, there should be 266 feet of curvature. And I know that hotel is about 18 stories. It's not even close. And you can pretty much see the entire hotel even in this shot. So I mean, from these shots it's pretty obvious there's no detectable curvature. So what does that mean? Well, if NASA is right and there is, we do live on a ball, they're going to have to make up that curvature. If it's not in the 20 miles I'm shooting, well then that means it's got to be made up further on down the line. So you can't have it both ways. You can't say we live on this ball and then say, oh, you can't detect the curvature. Well, you got to detect it somewhere, because if it's not dropping here, it's going to have to drop even more down the line in order to make that circle, that ball they say we live on. And it's pretty round. That blue marble they give us is perfectly round. Unfortunately for them, they can't show us, they can't prove here on Earth that there's any curvature. They can't point out curvature because we're taking these long shots without detecting anything. And like I said, if you can't detect it here, you're going to have to detect it double down the road. This pier shot is clearly showing the entire gap under that pier at 8 miles away. The shot of the lighthouse is showing the entire lighthouse. Should be 170 feet of curvature. So just to stress, this is the equation: 8 inches times your distance in miles squared, and that will give you the drop in curvature that you should see over a given span. And beyond that, I would just like to mention that this equation is perfect for up to 1,000 miles, which is obviously pretty far, but beyond that you do need to use a slightly different formula. I would suggest using the sagitta, which is basically the height of an arc of a circle. So you can take any arc of a circle and figure out the sagitta, which is the same thing as your curvature, your drop in curvature, but that is the most accurate formula to use to find out the drop in curvature for longer distances, anywhere from 1 mile to 12,000 miles, half of the Earth. And to find the sagitta, you just need to know the radius, which is 3959, and then the length of the arc in question. And for us, it would be the distance we're shooting. Say I'm looking at a pier or a mountain 10 miles away. As an arc of a circle, that would be double. It would be 20 miles then, because you're on top of the ball Earth. So the distance you're looking at is, say, 10 miles this way, and then as an arc of a circle, it would be 10 miles the other way. But I didn't want to get too specific in that regard. We can leave that for another video, or perhaps somebody else can tackle that in greater detail. So that's it. The results are no detectable curvature, and as far as we can tell, everything is flat as a pancake. Have a great day.
What are you doing?
Stop it, I'm ticklish.
A fine time to get ticklish.
Oh!
Well, he